Why do you suffer for the knife someone else is holding? If they cut you once, why do you keep replaying the pain 1,000 times in your mind? The wound is not in your body, it is in your memory. And that is in your control. People will hurt you. That is a certainty. Some will betray, some will lie, and some will break you in ways you never imagine. But tell me, when someone pushes you into fire, do you stand there and let it burn you? Or do you step away? Most people, they don't step away. They hold on to their pain like a trophy, showing it to the world, nurturing it, feeding it. And then they ask, why am I suffering? But suffering is a choice. And today, I will give you 5 ways to handle people who hurt you without letting their poison become yours. You sit there, replaying the moment over and over in your mind. The words they said, the betrayal they inflicted, the pain they caused. And in the midst of your suffering, you whisper to yourself, they should apologize. You wait. You imagine the day they finally realize what they've done. You picture them walking towards you, eyes filled with regret, saying, I was wrong. I hurt you. Please forgive me. And you think that when this happens, you will finally feel free. You will finally heal. But what if I told you that day may never come? What if I told you that the person who hurt you is sleeping peacefully while you stay up all night, drowning in thoughts of justice and fairness? What if I told you that your need for their apology is not healing you? It is holding you hostage. Think about it. How many moments of your life have you wasted waiting for someone else to validate your pain? How many days have you allowed their absence to control your presence? But let me ask you something deeper. Why do you think you need an apology to move on? Is it because you believe that if they admit their mistake, it will fix what was broken? Is it because you think that hearing the words, I'm sorry, will erase the wound they left behind? Let me break this illusion. Even if they apologize, will it undo what has been done? Will their words have the power to rewrite the past? No, the damage is already there. The pain was already inflicted. Then why give them so much power over your healing? Life does not wait for apologies. The sun does not ask the clouds to move before it shines. The river does not seek permission to flow. And you, my friend, do not need someone else's regret to set yourself free. Consider this. How many times have you hurt someone unintentionally? How many moments in life have you been the villain in someone else's story without realizing it? And even when you did, even when you regretted it, did your apology truly erase their pain? Or did it just serve as a bandage over a wound that still had to heal on its own? This is the truth. Healing is not about receiving an apology. Healing is about realizing that you don't need one. The moment you stop waiting, the moment you let go of this invisible contract that you have made with them, something powerful happens. You take back your power. You break the chains that were never really locked. You must understand, not everyone who hurts you will see their mistake. Not everyone who wrongs you will feel guilt. Some people will move on with their lives as if nothing happened, while you sit in the prison of resentment, holding on to a key that was always in your hands. So I ask you, how much longer will you wait? How many sunrises will you miss? How many moments of laughter will you suppress? How many beautiful days will you ruin because you are still waiting for a moment that may never come? Imagine this. There is a man walking through a marketplace. Someone pushes him and he stumbles. He turns around expecting an apology, but the person who pushed him is long gone, lost in the crowd. Now he has a choice. He can stand there looking for the stranger, demanding an apology that may never come, or he can brush off the dust and keep walking. Which one do you think is wiser? The same applies to life. Some people who push you will never turn around. Some people who break you will never look back. And some people who wound you will never come to heal you. But why should that stop you from moving forward? Do you want to be the one who waits? Or do you want to be the one who rises? Every moment you wait for an apology, you are delaying your own growth. You are postponing your joy. You are standing still while the world keeps moving. But the moment you say, I do not need their words, I do not need their guilt, I do not need anything from them to move forward, that is the moment you become free. Because in the end, the greatest revenge is not in hearing, I'm sorry. The greatest revenge is in not needing to hear it at all. Someone hurt you, they lied, betrayed, humiliated, or abandoned you, and now their actions live in your mind, playing on repeat like a broken record. You wake up thinking about it, you go to bed thinking about it, and every free moment in between, their words echo inside you like a poison you can't spit out. But tell me, who is truly suffering now? They have moved on. They are laughing, eating, living their lives without a second thought about you. Yet, here you are, still carrying the weight of their darkness. They poured poison into your cup, but instead of throwing it away, you are drinking it every single day. Now, ask yourself, who is really at fault? Them for giving it to you, or you for continuing to consume it? It is easy to blame the one who hurt you, but blaming them does nothing. Will your pain lessen if they feel guilty? Will your wounds heal if they cry for you? No. Their regret, if it ever comes, does not take away the damage. And that is where most people go wrong. They believe that by holding on to resentment, by replaying the pain, they are punishing the one who hurt them. But in truth, they are only punishing themselves. Imagine this, someone throws a rock at you. It hits you and it hurts. Now you have two choices. You can drop the rock and focus on healing your wound, or you can pick up the rock, carry it everywhere, and let it weigh you down for the rest of your life. Which one makes more sense? Yet people do the second thing every day. They collect the stones of betrayal, the bricks of anger, and the heavy chains of resentment, and then they wonder why they feel so exhausted, so broken, so lost. Do you not see? You are not carrying their actions. You are carrying your reaction. The poison is not in what they did. The poison is in what you continue to think about what they did. Let's say you walk into a room full of toxic gas. The air is poisoned. It burns your throat, stings your eyes, makes it hard to breathe. Would you stand there and complain about the air? Would you scream about how unfair it is that someone filled the room with poison? Or would you simply walk out? You see, in life, people will always try to poison you with their hate, their betrayal, their negativity. But you do not have to breathe it in. You do not have to keep standing in that room. When someone breaks you, you have two options. You can become like them, or you can rise above them. Most people choose the first without even realizing it. They think, I will never be like them. But slowly their heart becomes hard. They start treating others with the same distrust, the same bitterness. The pain they receive, they now pass on. A child who grows up in a house full of anger shouts at his own children. A woman who was betrayed by love stops believing in love altogether. A man who was cheated in business starts cheating others to survive, and just like that, the cycle continues. The poison spreads, the darkness grows. But you have the power to stop it. If someone lied to you, let them keep their lies. You stay truthful. If someone broke your trust, let them carry their dishonesty. You remain sincere. If someone tried to drag you down, let them sink alone. You rise. Because the moment you allow their darkness to change your light, they have won. Think of a river. It does not stop flowing just because someone throws dirt into it. It does not refuse to move forward just because obstacles are placed in its path. The river simply finds another way, a new path, and keeps moving towards the ocean. Be that river. Let them throw their dirt. Let them build their obstacles. Let them do whatever they want. You, my friend, will keep flowing. Because in the end, the greatest power is not in how much you can hurt someone back. The greatest power is in how untouchable you become. They expect you to react. They want you to scream, to cry, to break down, to show them that their words, their betrayal, their cruelty had power over you. They want to see proof that they still control your emotions. But what happens when you don't give them that satisfaction? What happens when you simply stay silent? That is when they start to fear you. Because nothing disturbs a person more than realizing they no longer have access to your emotions. Nothing unsettles them more than knowing they did everything they could to hurt you, yet you remain untouched, unshaken, unmoved. Silence is not weakness, silence is strategy. People think revenge is about proving a point, about making sure the other person suffers as much as they made you suffer. But real revenge is when they expect war and you don't even acknowledge their existence. Imagine this. Someone spreads lies about you. They try to ruin your reputation. They do everything in their power to bring you down. They're waiting, watching, hoping for a reaction. And yet, you continue living, you continue succeeding, you continue smiling as if they never even existed. What do you think happens to them? They burn. They burn in the fire of their own frustration. Because your silence is a mirror. And in that mirror, they see their own powerlessness. They see that no matter how much they tried to shake you, you are still standing. People thrive on attention. They feed off your anger. They grow stronger when you respond. But when you withdraw, when you go silent, they are left with nothing but their own emptiness. Think of a lion. Does a lion stop to bark back at dogs? No. It walks on, unbothered, knowing that its presence alone is enough. Now think of yourself. How many times have you wasted your energy trying to defend yourself to people who don't even deserve an explanation? How many times have you lowered yourself to respond to those who are beneath you? But here's the truth. Arguing with a fool only makes two fools. And the moment you understand this, you become dangerous. You stop justifying yourself. You stop proving your worth. You stop wasting words on people who are committed to misunderstanding you. You become a storm. Silent, powerful, unstoppable. There is a reason why the most powerful moments in life happen in silence. When someone insults you and you just smile. When someone tries to provoke you and you walk away. When someone betrays you and instead of begging for an explanation, you disappear from their life without a single word. That silence, that absence, that indifference, that is what destroys them. Because they were prepared for a fight, they were prepared for drama, for shouting, for chaos. But they were not prepared for your silence. Do you know why? Because silence is proof that you have risen above them. It is proof that they are no longer important enough to deserve your energy. And when someone realizes they no longer have access to you, mentally, emotionally, physically, that is when they truly understand what loss feels like. So the next time someone tries to pull you into their storm, do not fight them. Do not explain yourself. Do not justify your actions. Just smile, turn around, and let your silence do the talking. Forgiveness is not about them, it is about you. It is about freeing yourself from the chains of bitterness, from the endless cycle of anger, from the weight of carrying their mistakes on your shoulders. But forgiveness does not mean blindness. It does not mean forgetting what they did or pretending it never happened. Forgiveness is wisdom. It is looking at the wound, understanding how it happened, and making sure you never let it happen again. People will tell you, just let it go. But letting go does not mean being foolish. A snake that bites you once will bite you again if you keep holding it close. You can forgive the snake for being what it is, but that does not mean you offer it your hand a second time. Some people think forgiveness is weakness. They think it is about accepting the wrong and allowing it to continue. But no. Real forgiveness is power. Because only the strong have the ability to forgive. The weak hold on to grudges, not realizing they are drinking their own poison. Imagine someone betrays you. They lie to you, they break your trust. They hurt you in ways you never thought possible. You can hold on to that pain, replay it in your mind 1,000 times, let it consume you. Or you can look at it, learn from it, and move forward with a heart that is wiser, not weaker. Because the truth is, every pain comes with a lesson. Some people come into your life as a blessing, others come as a lesson, and the biggest mistake you can make is treating a lesson like a blessing. Think of fire. Fire can burn you, but it also teaches you. The first time you touch it, you feel the pain. The second time you remember the pain, and because of that memory, you do not make the same mistake again. But what if you forget? What if every time you get burned, you tell yourself, it's okay, I'll just forget this ever happened, and then you go right back to touching the fire again and again. That is not forgiveness. That is foolishness. Forgiving does not mean you stop feeling the pain. It means you stop letting the pain control you. It means you take the lesson and move forward with clarity, not with resentment. There are people who will apologize, but their apology is just a tool. It is not regret. It is a way to pull you back in. If you forgive and forget, they will do it again. Not because they are stronger, but because you refuse to learn. You have to remember that not everyone deserves a second chance. A person who truly regrets their actions will change. They will show you, not with words, but with consistency, with effort, with real change. But a person who only regrets losing control over you will act the same way once they think they have you back. So, forgive. Forgive for your own peace. Forgive because holding on to hatred will only damage your own soul. But never ever forget the lesson. Forgive them, but remember the way they made you feel. Forgive them, but remember how they turned their back on you. Forgive them, but remember how they valued their ego more than your pain. Because life does not give the same lesson twice. It is up to you whether you learn the first time or suffer again and again. Some doors are meant to close. And that does not mean you are cruel. It means you respect yourself enough to not let the same storm destroy you twice. You owe no one blind trust. You owe no one repeated chances. You owe yourself peace, wisdom, and strength. So forgive. But never forget who they truly are. They want to pull you down. They want you to fight, to argue, to struggle in the mud where they live. Because the moment you step into their battlefield, you are already playing their game. But what happens when you rise? What happens when you don't engage, when you don't lower yourself, when you don't give them the satisfaction of dragging you into their chaos? They lose. Because their greatest victory is not in destroying you, it is in making you destroy yourself. It is in making you doubt your own worth, making you question your own strength, making you react in ways that prove you are just like them. But you are not like them. There are people in this world who thrive on negativity. They provoke, they manipulate, they push your buttons just to see how much control they have over you. And if you react, if you fight back in the way they want you to, they win. Not because they are stronger, but because they made you forget who you are. It is not your job to prove yourself to anyone. It is not your job to convince small minds of your greatness. An eagle does not argue with crows. It does not waste time fighting on the ground. It spreads its wings and flies so high that the crows can no longer reach it. You must do the same. When they insult you, do not respond. When they try to provoke you, do not react. When they create drama, do not engage. Because the moment you give them your energy, you give them your power. And once they have your power, they control you. Have you ever seen a person so calm, so composed, so unshaken that it drives others mad? That is because strength is not in shouting the loudest. It is in being so untouchable that no storm, no insult, no betrayal can shake your foundation. Think of a mountain. A storm may rage around it. The wind may scream, the rain may pound, the lightning may strike. But the mountain does not move. It does not chase the storm. It does not fight the wind. It simply stands, unbothered, unshaken. That is real power. Some people will try to make you feel small because they are terrified of how big you truly are. They will throw stones at you, hoping you throw them back, hoping you reduce yourself to their level. But a wise person does not waste time throwing stones. They use them to build something greater. Your energy is sacred. Where you focus your attention is where your life will go. If you focus on fighting small battles, you will always be surrounded by small people. But if you focus on rising, on building, on evolving, then soon those small people will become nothing but distant noise. Not everyone deserves access to you. Not everyone deserves a response. Some people deserve only one thing: your silence, your indifference, your distance. Because when you rise, they can no longer touch you. When you rise, their words become powerless. When you rise, they realize they never had control over you at all. Do not let them trap you in their world. Elevate yourself so high that their world no longer exists in yours. Pain is real, but its power over you is an illusion. It is not the pain itself that destroys you. It is how much you feed it, how much you allow it to consume you, how much space you give it in your mind. Have you ever noticed how the same pain that makes one person stronger completely breaks another? Why is that? It is not the pain that is different, it is the mind that experiences it. One person takes their suffering and turns it into wisdom, into resilience, into fire that fuels them. Another lets it drown them in sorrow, letting it shape their identity, letting it become their excuse. Pain knocks on everyone's door. No one escapes it. The difference is, do you open the door and invite it in? Do you set a table for it? Do you let it stay, feeding it your thoughts, your energy, your peace? Or do you acknowledge it, learn from it, and send it on its way? A wound only hurts as long as you keep touching it. If you keep picking at a scar, it never heals. The same is true for emotional pain. The more you replay the betrayal, the more you relive the heartbreak, the more you hold on to the injustice, the deeper it cuts. Pain wants attention. It wants you to think about it, talk about it, carry it with you. But what happens when you stop giving it what it wants? What happens when you stop feeding it? It weakens. It fades. It loses its grip on you. Think about fire. If you stop giving it oxygen, it dies. The same is true for pain. It survives because of the energy you give it. The more you focus on it, the more power it has. But if you turn your focus away, if you pour your energy into something greater, your growth, your dreams, your peace, pain becomes just another experience, not your entire existence. A person who has mastered their pain is unstoppable. They do not crumble when things go wrong. They do not break when life throws its worst at them. Because they know pain is just a visitor. It is not a master. It does not own them unless they allow it to. Have you ever watched someone who has been through the worst, betrayal, loss, failure, but they walk with strength, with grace, with a silent fire in their eyes? That is because they did not feed their pain, they starved it. Pain is a test. Life asks, what will you do with this? Will you let it break you, or will you use it to build something greater? The moment you stop feeding your pain, you take back your power. The moment you refuse to let it define you, you become free. The moment you see it as just another experience, it loses all control over you. Because pain is not the enemy, your attachment to it is. If your happiness depends on someone else, you are not living, you are surviving. You are waiting for their approval, their affection, their validation to tell you that you are worthy of joy. But the moment you give someone that power, you also give them the power to take it away. Look around you. How many people do you see walking through life like puppets? Their emotions controlled by someone else's actions. If someone smiles at them, they feel good. If someone ignores them, they feel worthless. If they are loved, they shine. If they are rejected, they fall apart. This is not happiness. This is slavery. Why should your joy be dictated by people who barely understand themselves? One day they will lift you up, the next they may walk away. And if your happiness is tied to them, what happens then? You crash, you shatter, you feel empty. Because the source of your happiness was never within you. It was in their hands. No one should have that power over you. No one should be able to control how you feel about yourself. When you allow others to define your happiness, you become a beggar, constantly seeking, constantly needing, constantly at the mercy of their mood, their actions, their choices. But you were never meant to beg for happiness. You were meant to create it, to own it, to carry it within you so deeply that no one, not a lover, not a friend, not even the world can take it away. Think about the sun. It does not ask the sky for permission to shine. It does not dim itself because some people prefer the night. It does not switch off when clouds try to cover it. It simply shines, unapologetically, and whether someone appreciates its warmth or hides in the shade, the sun does not change. Be the sun. Stop seeking validation. Stop waiting for someone to choose you so you can feel valuable. Stop giving people the keys to your peace, your confidence, your self-worth. If they hold the keys, they control the doors. They decide when to open them, when to close them, when to lock you out of your own happiness. Why would you give them that power? Happiness is not something they give you. It is something you decide. It is waking up in the morning and saying, I am enough. Even if no one tells you. It is looking in the mirror and loving yourself. Not because someone else loves you, but because you choose to. It is understanding that your worth is not defined by how others treat you, but by how you treat yourself. The world will try to make you believe otherwise. It will tell you that you need love, success, money, attention to be happy. It will make you chase things, people, approval, as if happiness is always out of reach, always in someone else's hands. But that is a lie. True happiness is not found in people. It is not found in things. It is found in the moment you decide you are enough just as you are. It is found in knowing that no one, not a lover, not a friend, not even fate, has the power to take away what is already within you. Some doors must close without hesitation. Some roads must end without regret. And some people must be left behind without looking back. The problem is, most people do not know how to walk away. They hesitate, they overthink, they wait for closure that may never come. They keep turning around, hoping for an apology, for validation, for a sign that they mattered. But the moment you turn back, you are still chained to what was, still bound to the past, still holding on to something that no longer serves you. Why do people struggle to walk away? Because they believe leaving means loss. But walking away is not losing, it is choosing. Choosing yourself over disrespect. Choosing peace over chaos, choosing growth over stagnation. You do not owe anyone your suffering. You do not owe them your endless patience while they treat you like an option. You do not owe them another chance to hurt you. Have you ever watched someone trapped in a cycle? They know the situation is toxic. They know the person is hurting them. But they stay. They stay because they think love should be painful. They stay because they think time invested means they cannot leave. They stay because they are afraid of the unknown. But the truth is, nothing will destroy you faster than staying where you do not belong. Walking away is not weakness, it is power. It is realizing that you do not have to fight to be seen. It is understanding that silence is louder than words, that your absence speaks louder than your begging ever will. If someone does not see your worth, show them what it means to lose you. If someone takes you for granted, remove yourself so they can feel the emptiness where you once were. Think about a house on fire. Do you stand inside, hoping the flames will die down? Do you wait for the heat to become bearable? No. You leave. You do not negotiate with destruction. You do not argue with fire. You do not wait for it to understand your pain. You walk away because your life depends on it. The same goes for people who drain you, disrespect you, or bring you down. You do not need to explain yourself. You do not need to justify why you are leaving. Just go, quietly, strongly, without looking back, because looking back means attachment. Looking back means doubt. Looking back means you're still hoping for something that has already shown you what it is. And when you hesitate, when you turn around, you give the past permission to pull you back in. A person who knows their worth does not beg. They do not plead for kindness. They do not chase after love that keeps running. They walk away with grace, with confidence, with the unshakable knowing that what is meant for them will never require them to suffer to keep it. When you learn to walk away without looking back, you take back your power, you reclaim your dignity, you choose yourself. And in that choice, you find the freedom that was waiting for you all along. Hate is a fire that burns only the one who holds it. You may think you are punishing them by holding on to anger, by replaying every word, every wound, every betrayal. But in reality, the only person suffering is you. Hate does not touch them, it poisons you. It lives inside your mind, it controls your emotions, it takes up space in your heart that could be filled with peace. And for what? For someone who has already moved on? For someone who does not lose sleep over what they did to you? Why would you let them live inside you rent-free? Revenge may seem satisfying, the thought of making them feel what they made you feel, of showing them the pain they caused. It tempts the mind. But revenge is a cycle, a game where no one truly wins. The moment you stoop to their level, you become just like them. You think you are teaching them a lesson, but in reality, you are letting them dictate your actions, your emotions, your peace. And the moment you let them control your mind, they have already won. Do you know the greatest revenge? It is not hatred, it is not plotting, it is not waiting for the universe to balance the scales. The greatest revenge is rising so high that they can no longer reach you. It is becoming so untouchable that their existence no longer affects you. It is walking away with a heart that is free, a mind that is unburdened, a soul that is at peace. Think about it. If someone throws mud at you, do you pick it up and throw it back? If you do, you become just as dirty. But if you walk away, their hands are still covered in filth while you remain clean. That is the power of letting go. That is the power of choosing your peace over their chaos. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting. It does not mean allowing them back into your life. It does not mean justifying what they did. It simply means refusing to carry the weight of their actions any longer. It means saying, I will not allow your darkness to live inside me. It means choosing yourself over the past, choosing your future over your pain. There are people who will never apologize. There are wounds that will never be acknowledged. There are betrayals that will never be explained. And that is okay. You do not need an apology to heal. You do not need closure from them to move on. Closure is not something they give you. It is something you decide. If they broke you, build yourself back stronger. If they underestimated you, prove them wrong by succeeding in silence. If they hurt you, let that pain transform you into someone wiser, someone who no longer entertains people who do not value them. That is power. That is strength. That is how you win. When you stop seeking revenge, when you stop carrying hate, you take back your freedom. You stop being a prisoner of the past. You reclaim your energy, your joy, your peace. And that is something no one can take away from you. There is no louder response than success. There is no greater answer than rising above everything that was meant to break you. You do not argue with people who doubt you. You do not waste time explaining yourself to those who never believed in you. You do not seek validation from the ones who walked away. You show them. You let your success speak in ways that words never could. When people betray you, when they underestimate you, when they laugh at your dreams, they expect you to crumble. They expect you to be consumed by your pain, to stay stuck in the past, to let their opinions define your reality. But the greatest revenge is proving them wrong, not with anger, not with bitterness, but with undeniable greatness. Think about the ones who said you would never make it, the ones who doubted your strength, the ones who dismissed your potential. What will hurt them more? Fighting back with words they will ignore, or rising so high that they are forced to watch in silence? Your success is the ultimate answer, because it shifts the power back into your hands. The moment you stop chasing their approval, the moment you stop looking back, the moment you decide that your life is your own, everything changes. You no longer react, you no longer explain, you just rise. Do you know what happens when you succeed? The people who doubted you become silent. The ones who left you start to wonder if they made a mistake. The ones who laughed at you now watch you in awe. But by then it does not even matter. Because by then you are too busy thriving. By then you are too focused on building yourself, on creating the life they said you could never have. There is a reason why the most powerful people do not waste time on petty battles. They do not seek revenge. They do not dwell in the past. They do not let their emotions control them. Instead, they channel everything, pain, anger, disappointment, into their growth. They take every insult, every rejection, every failure and turn it into fuel. Have you ever seen a seed grow? It is buried, it is covered in darkness, it is forgotten. And yet with time, it pushes through, it rises, it reaches the light, it grows into something unshakable. That is you. Every setback, every heartbreak, every betrayal, these are not endings. They are beginnings. They are the very things that will push you toward the life you deserve. People will doubt you. Let them. But do not let them stop you. Do not let their absence slow you down. Do not let their disbelief shake your confidence. Keep moving, keep building, keep proving them wrong, not with anger, but with unstoppable success. There will come a day when they will look at you and realize they lost something valuable. They will look at you and see that you never needed them. They will look at you and know that they were wrong. And by then you will be so far ahead, so deeply immersed in your own greatness, that their realization will mean nothing, because by then you will have already won. The world does not stop for your pain. Life does not slow down because someone hurt you. The universe is not waiting for your enemies to apologize before it moves forward. And neither should you. You must rise. Not because they deserve your silence, not because they deserve your forgiveness, but because you deserve peace. Because you deserve to live a life untouched by their actions, unshaken by their words, and uninfluenced by their existence. Do you think the sun dims its light because someone complains it is too bright? Do you think the ocean stops its waves because someone is afraid to swim? No. The sun continues to shine, the ocean continues to move, and so must you. Your life is not meant to be lived in the shadows of those who doubted you. You are not here to convince them of your worth. You are here to show them that their opinions, their judgments, their betrayals, none of it holds power over you. Greatness does not argue. Success does not seek validation. Power does not need permission. The lion does not turn around when small dogs bark. It walks forward, unbothered, untouchable, because it knows what it is. You must be the same. Let them talk, let them gossip, let them doubt. And while they waste their breath, you rise in silence. You build in the darkness. And one day, when they least expect it, they will look up and see you shining so brightly that they cannot ignore you. There's a reason why the greatest victories are never spoken about in anger. There's a reason why the most powerful people do not waste their energy proving themselves to those who do not. The moment you succeed, the moment you become unstoppable, the noise disappears. People who once doubted you start whispering about you. People who once laughed at you pretend they always believed in you. And you will have already moved so far ahead that their opinions will feel like echoes from a distant past. Some will regret losing you. Some will wish they had treated you better. Some will finally see your value when it is too late. But by then you will be too busy creating a life beyond their imagination. You will be too busy walking in your purpose, achieving dreams they never believed in, living a life they can only watch from a distance. You have two choices in this life. You can let their words define you, or you can let your